guys, welcome back to another episode of Three Slips and Silly Points. To start off, we don't have any tech issues today, so it's all looking good.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
All right.
Go on.
Yeah. So let's quickly go through the agenda. I think it's primarily the ongoing BGT. We've wrapped up second test, pink test. So anticlimactic or expected based on all of our predictions.
So by wrapping, you mean India wrapped it and then gifted it to Australia?
Pretty much.
We all predicted it. We all knew.
Yeah,
Like, as
but
much
no
as it
one knew
annoys
this
us,
bad,
we
right?
all knew.
Yeah.
Like we knew it was gonna be bad, but we thought they'll at least bat twice properly.
Yeah.
And
Oh, okay, you put the word properly, then
Yeah,
that
but
makes
like-
it. Yeah, that's true. Because it
not
did bat
like-
twice.
at that point, I think
Properly is
Rohit
it.
Sharma and Cummins should just like shook hands and they're like, "Yeah, we done." Like
They could
I
have
know
done
we're jumping the
yeah.
gun, but in
They
the
could have
fourth innings,
done that straight away after the toss. All right, India's won the toss. Rohit was like, "All right, Pat, congratulations, well done." I'm like, "Why? This is what we're going to talk after 3 days."
yeah. Like in the fourth innings, Bumrah didn't even bowl a single ball over 130 kilometers an hour.
Mm.
Everything was 125. Like it was just like, what's the point?
Exactly.
I think it's similar to like first test, right? Where we got a really good upper hand and it just deflated the other team. And that's what it looked like. It was very deflated. Again, it's understandable, right? Like we're getting hammered. Where's this inspiration going to come from? Which it didn't for a while. And Mr. Head, which he played very well.
Yeah. I
pretty much
actually have a
broke us.
feeling if we lose this third game, Sharma might just hang up the boots and be like, "I'm out, these boys." Like he'll pull a Dhoni. Remember how Dhoni also retired mid-series? So
Yeah, but I think with Dhoni, he did it at the end of calendar year. He finished the Boxing Day test, and then it's like, "Yeah, adios, new year, new captain," which is still logical, but
in
anything that Dhoni does is logical.
We haven't reached.
no, but assuming we get there, right? Like this, let's assume the dark stuff happens the next test.
Yeah.
It will be New Year's, right? When Boxing Day test rolls over, like the 5 days, you'll be into New Year's.
No. Boxing Day wraps up end of calendar year, so it's 26 to 30.
26, 27,
Yeah, end of
28,
calendar
29,
26.
30.
and five.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
31.
Sydney test is the
It's a New Year
this is
test.
where-
Yeah.
but let's hope it's not going till that.
Oh, no way. We got this now. Like now, now we know what the ball looks like, so we're all good. We're back into familiar territories. Yeah.
Oh, back at the ball that it looks like, back to the white side screen, black everything. Yeah, it's not a I was reading and apparently, again, I don't know how true this is, but apparently there's a meeting and they said Gigi wants
Nah.
Kohli back as captain.
Who's
And I was like,
TG?
man, it's just it's
Oh,
just-
GG. No. GG
Oh, Gigi, I
knows
said
that
Gigi.
he's done now.
Gigi.
But maybe
Yeah.
he may have mentioned in passing that he probably wants the aggression that VK had. But again, like, can we just talk in abbreviations this whole episode? It's GG, VK, RG. Let's
Yeah,
go.
We're gonna put a bit of
bring JB back.
Justin
put an
Bieber's the
asterisk
captain?
We'll put an asterisk for the entire episode and say refer to description for all the abbreviations.
Put a whole legend in.
Yeah, just put a whole list.
Looking back at the ping test, I think, for me, the first ball wicket of Yashasvi Jaiswal just brought Stark's aggression to a whole new level.
What a ball.
And again, we lost Jaiswal, but there was a decent partnership that kicked off between Rahul and Gill. Lasted close to
Gill.
70 runs, and then to see you were 69 for one, and in 110 runs from there on, you lose 9 wickets in a test.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unforgivable.
Yeah, but I just feel like we're back to saying the same thing. And now when I think about it, right, like, okay, it kind of felt like Kohli was back to square one in this game, right? And then I was like, did he really leave the first square in the last test? Because when you think about it, right? Like when did Kohli score runs in the last game? When he came in, when the ball was decently old.
Yeah.
He came in after that 30 over mark. We
Mm,
already had a 200 run partnership. He just had to come in
yeah.
and score, right? But whenever I think he comes in this period where we've lost a few wickets early on and now he
Still
needs to
swinging.
build, at that
Yeah.
time he has to leave the ball outside off. You cannot hit the ball that's in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone explained me that the amount of memes that I've seen just about that, like, he's playing on the 10th
But
stump, and what are you doing?
in
There's so
in his
many
defense,
just
last
parodies of it.
game, first innings, I can't remember as much, but in the second innings, he definitely didn't play outside off. The ball was seaming in, and he got unlucky. That ball was just really good. But in the
Yeah.
first innings, what's the excuse?
Yeah, I know. It's the same thing, right? In the first test, he was very giddy. He was like, "Oh, I need to like play at every ball," and then that's what he did, and that's how he got out again. It's
Uh,
that like that
the
two-mindedness.
funniest meme that I've seen,
But
I think I
yeah,
sent it to both of you, is Kohli can resist Chole Bhature, but not a ball outside of stump.
uh, yeah,
Uh,
I think if he can just figure out a way of like just getting through that initial bit, oh, it'll be so hard to get goalie out.
yeah.
Because once he got comfy, even in that second innings last game, it was impossible to get him out. He was just
yeah,
like the only way he could have got himself out is by playing those big shots, and beyond that, nothing was going to move him.
um, Nitish
Oh,
Kumar Reddy.
I feel so bad
What a
for him.
oh
great find, and he's probably one of the players that has consistently scored double digits.
Not just double
Uh,
digits. He stayed not out.
yeah,
Like in my regard, every innings that he's
correct.
played, I know he's gotten out, but he's gotten out because he wanted to get out. By
yeah,
that I mean wanted to play big shots. Um,
Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
great to him,
it,
but what does that mean? You want to get out,
yeah,
but I think
yeah.
because he went swimming,
And
he
he
went swinging,
and he went swinging because he
and
was
yeah,
out
that
there
was
with the
only
10th wicket.
yeah,
yeah, and
yeah, that's true.
Oh,
But he
he's so
connected some
good.
good shots with the swing. Don't
and
get me
a
wrong.
debutant.
Oh my God.
He's playing his second test, and his 4 inning scores are 41, 38, 42, 42. It's pretty good damn
Yeah,
record.
and
To have.
in the first match, first innings, he actually came in pretty early. So you can't say that you can't play a moving ball or a new ball because that ball was brand new when he rocked up, and he settled the storm.
Yeah.
Um, I almost
Talking
just want like him to swap his position with Kohli, so Kohli
uh,
gets the best of old ball, um, and
well,
then
Uh, mm.
do you say
Irfan
best of old ball or Kohli coming down? He gets
the old
the
ball.
new ball.
Oh,
And the story repeats.
so
Ah,
I was actually watching it. Yeah, no, so I was actually
like a
watching
double-edged sword. You like,
the interview Sunny G did. So he actually wants Rohit Sharma to bat in the
Mm,
opening slot, and he's like, "Look, Sharma has a decent record at the top, and he has been used to doing that. So he just come there, and if we just bat long
yeah,
enough, by the time KL Rahul would come in the middle, it'd be new ball anyway. So he'll be opening the bat anyway." And I was just like,
yeah. But
wouldn't
that's
that
not
logic
reality,
apply
right?
both
That's not
ways? Because
reality. Yeah.
Rahul is deserving of the opening slot because he's in form. So by the time Rohit comes in, it'll be new ball anyway.
Mm,
Doesn't make yeah, I don't know.
mm.
But I just feel like
First inning was pretty much just like we know Adelaide was just a swinging king, right? Like you can see Stark with six, Cummins with two, Boland with two. Oh my God, Boland. Oh my God, this guy is very annoying,
but to
but
be
he's
honest,
very good. He's very good. I also one other thing, I'm concerned about his left hand. I swear, after he retires, he's gonna. I don't know if you've seen his bowling action. every time he bowls,
or
every
his thigh or
ball,
something.
his
Oh,
left
knee.
hand
Yeah, yeah.
hits just above his knee. Yeah, every time. So if you're bowling at like 130 and you're hitting that, his
Do you
retirement
reckon
isn't going to be his hand,
his
nothing
hand
else. It's
or
just
his thigh that he's karate chopping?
hey, hey, that the muscle there is the strongest because that can
There's
take a
still a
lot of
lot of
hits. There's
cushion.
nothing here. It's like some
No,
nerves
but
How
compared to a
the,
thigh.
the, the
Yeah,
man got a wicket off
yeah,
his
yeah,
first ball both innings. Like
yeah.
it just happened that the first ball of the first innings that
yeah.
he bowled was a no ball, but it's still a wicket.
Right. Rule one: survive bowling
First
first
ball.
spell. First ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, first over.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Thoughts about
Hey, man.
the bowling
Also,
lineup for
sorry.
India, both Bumrah and Siraj picking 4 wickets apiece, and, and also the Bumrah Siraj head altercation in the middle.
Um, I think Siraj did bowl really well, but I think he still needs to be more potent somehow. He needs to figure out how to be his best, like
Mm,
how he was in Sri Lanka that one time, X amount of months or years ago. I don't think we're still seeing that Siraj in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And the stats back that up, Raj, because he bowled about similar overs. So Siraj was 24.3 and Bumrah was 23.
yeah,
Same maidens,
because they
runs
found
different.
easy
61
to
runs as
score
compared to
off of. That's the
98
problem, right?
Yeah.
runs.
But again,
And
I don't think we can compare him
Yeah.
to Bumrah because Bumrah's in a different league across the
and
board,
and
right?
the other big factor
Yeah.
that we missed out completely in second test is Siraj's contribution in taking wickets at the start. If you look at Siraj's wickets, they were all down the orders. He got wicket 7, 8, sorry, 6, 7, 9, and 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas Bumrah got the first 3 wickets. We want Siraj or someone that complements
Mm,
Bumrah to support him and take wickets
So
on the other end.
the trouble for me isn't even Siraj in this bowling lineup right now. It was actually Harshit Rana. And I know everyone's been saying he's new, and he'll figure it out. But the problem was he kept bowling wide to Travis Head. Like he looked all good of a bowler until
yeah.
he got like taken down
Oh,
for a couple overs, and then he just went right like outside the wide, like around the wide line mark. Like he was hit for overs that
Mm,
had 18 runs, 15
oh
runs
yeah,
in Test cricket. Like it's massive. And like with Siraj, you know the send off right that he gave to Travis Head, the ball before that was a great
mm.
ball, in swinging
yeah,
ball on good length, and Travis Head just took him out. And look, fair play to Travis Head, right? Like great shot, and that's probably what
Oh man.
got the reaction from Siraj.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we can't say the same about Rana. Rana just bowled out like wide, not as consistent on the line and the lengths, and when he was put under pressure, he didn't recover from it. He just got worse and worse. So
Mm. Which is just lack of experience, right? Like this you can't like it's you can learn from it,
yeah,
but it just takes times
yeah,
from different teams to understand. Okay, hey, with your specialty in bowling,
yeah, yeah.
how do
I
you
actually have a
tackle
feeling
this
we might get Akash Deep in the next game.
situation? So
He'll be
yeah.
dropped. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, not Chummy, where every news article is like, oh, he's in
Yeah,
Australia.
but
Oh, he's about
wait,
to take a
wait.
fight. Like, bro,
Nah, but
oh,
do you know what
he's
the
having a
problem
fight
with
with
bringing Shami
you know
in
it.
would be? The man hasn't played long
Yeah,
form cricket, like proper long form cricket, in a year and a bit.
yeah,
I know he
yeah.
played
Proper
like the
long.
last
Yeah.
couple games in Ranji, but again, putting that kind of workload through in overseas conditions. And I think the way they want to manage Bumrah's bowling load is like give him short spells, which means
Mm,
even if Rana's only bowled 16, he probably would have had to bowl longer spells, but because he got taken down, they had to
Yeah,
bowl Bumrah more. Um,
yeah,
correct.
and with Shami coming in, they probably expect Shami to bowl more, and his body potentially can't take that load out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
yeah,
Um,
true.
so I actually
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised if he actually doesn't play any games in BGT.
I don't think he's. I mean,
Mm,
part of all of these conversations are, I feel, are rumors.
Yeah,
Because if well, you got 20 days
yeah.
before you wrap up, or 25 days more to go. for the remaining three
Mm.
tests. And for any player, who hasn't played game, bring him in overseas conditions, and the weather isn't, really friendly as well. It
Yeah,
goes
it's
in
really
its own
hot.
favor as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So don't expect Shami at all in this series. Um, and yeah, 100% on Harshit Rana. I think first match everyone was surprised as to how to deal with him, and second match they figured out how to deal with him. So,
How to deal
and I think it
with
also comes
it.
down to the rotations as well. You got to keep surprising the opponent. So maybe throw a new. You can't take out Bumrah. Bumrah is there, and I think they'll instead of
Yeah.
trying to figure out a way of scoring against Bumrah. I think the opponents are all right. Let's play him. Let's see him through, knowing that India is going to carry him for all five tests, which means shorter spells. So let's see the shorter spells through without losing wicket. We don't want to score runs.
Mm.
Let's take runs off the other bowlers. So Siraj has been a bit expensive. Harshit Rana was the weak point, which they milk runs at a fairly, over
Yeah.
five in a test, which is great. Or not so great for us, but great from an Aussie perspective. And the other bowler, right, that I felt was under bowl is Nitish.
Yeah.
We all know that he's supposed to be a bowling all rounder, but the way he was being used was, he would come in only to give breaks to the other bowlers, rather he being, front
Mm.
and center of that bowling plan. I feel, especially when Harshit was getting hit left, right, center, he could have been a good bowling option just to interrupt the flow of events. And also Ashwin was heavily underutilized. Right?
Yeah.
The pitch was supposed to grip a bit, spin a bit, but having
Mm.
Ash in the lineup, he was not introduced for the first 30 odd overs, or even if he was introduced, it was more just an over before the end of sessions, etc. I feel, as the ball stops swinging, you've got that shine of the ball. You got to keep operating spin, and this is probably a tried and tested formula of Team India for ages. We remember, Harbhajan, Anil Kumble days as well. It
Mm.
goes back to 2007's, early 2000s as well. You got to have, I mean, we heavily rely on spinners. We know that, these countries, England, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, struggle a bit against spin. So we've got to have capitalize on it. We've got to get Ash or even Washi or even Jaddu, whoever is going to fill that
I,
spin ability. They
but I
have
think
to the other end.
the problem with bringing in Ash was I think Head just wanted to attack him the moment he came in, and we didn't have enough runs on the board to allow Ash to actually have a long enough spell at him. I think in the end he did because he batted for so long. But the initial plan for them to not pull him in
Yeah.
was basically that hey, we don't have that many runs to play with. Give the strike bowlers a go at the start. Because as soon as because did you see how he handled Ash? The first ball he bowled came in, ran at him over his head.
Yeah, I think
Hit hit it over his head.
this is mindset. This is the mindset games, right? You take charge of the bowler in the first ball just to
Mm.
show that you're attacking, but under the hood, it may be, it's similar to what punt does,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Comes first ball, and then steps
First
forward,
ball.
leaves open all the wickets, and goes for a wild swing. It's essentially a
Yeah.
strategy. It's essentially a mindset. I think the captains, Rohit, has gone on a lot more defensive. We could see defensive approach even in the New Zealand
Mm.
series, where from a position where they could go for a hunt, they could tighten the screws. The field was let loose, so new players were settling in. I think that defensive approach is probably costing. Yep, we don't have runs, which meant we got to do something different to sort of get the balance back in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
If you just go with the flow, go on the defensive approach, it's like you've given up on this game, and now you're like, how small or big the damage is going to be. You're just controlling. You're doing a bit of a damage control here.
Yeah. And I think for us, I think where we missed a trick was when we let Nathan and Manus bat in that first innings session. And all they were doing was just seeing the ball off for that session. And they managed to do that. Like
Yeah.
Manus and Nathan just didn't get out that whole session. I know we got a wicket fairly early in the second, I mean, yeah, second day, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, early second day. But that session
Second
would
day.
have been key because that session's meant to be the hardest to bat in pink ball cricket.
Mm.
Um, and I'm pretty sure we let one or two chances go in that session.
oh yeah,
Didn't
I can't
didn't
remember one
Labuschagne
of
get
them.
like
I think
dropped?
McSweeney or Marnus, but like one of them got dropped.
Can't remember.
And I
Yeah.
feel like those are criminal drops because I think that could have changed the game. Imagine Head or Steven Smith coming in at that point
Yeah.
versus coming in fresh the next day.
Oh,
yeah.
Um,
Max Sweeney.
I think it's a very simple cricket rule, right?
oh,
Like catches win matches,
um,
and we've seen enough
even
games to know if there's quite a few drops, then you know where the team is like mentality,
even the
like
next
where
day,
they're sitting.
Travis Head was I think dropped around 80,
Mm.
and he pretty much doubled his score after that,
Yeah,
and at a very fast strike rate. So
yeah.
Yeah, Max Sweeney was dropped by Pant. That
yeah,
would have
oh
been an easy catch to Rohit, but Pant jumped in.
yeah.
Well, natural instinct. That was
Yeah,
To
and
be
before.
honest,
hit his
I
arm.
think
Yeah, I
Bunt
remember that.
had one of his worst games behind the wicket this
Yeah,
game. Yeah, like there's a few occasions
Yeah.
where he was too far out leg side, and then he couldn't reach the ball on the offside. And one of them was actually was a bouncer, and I think Travis had slashed at it, and he was too far on the leg side. But this is meant to be his dominant side, and he couldn't reach it. And I
Mm.
think
yeah.
maybe because it's pink ball and it swings a lot later after it goes past the wicket, that's probably why he was a bit.
After it,
He was
yeah.
probably overcompensating for that. But I think that was also very tricky for us because we lost a lot of opportunities there. So I think yeah, overall a very difficult game I think for India, just because of the pink ball. And then I think they even mentioned that they're not used to sighting pink ball on that black side screen. I think because they're used to having a white side screen
Mm.
and looking at the red ball. Um,
Mm.
but again, he was like not excuses, but just facts that we're not used to it. Um,
Oh, well.
Yeah. But did that I question, like we had great momentum from test one, right? Like crazy momentum. There was a shift of two
Three.
people, right?
Is it two? Three? Three?
Um was it
three people.
Three.
oh, Ashwin came in also, sorry. Yep, sorry. Like that's one change, right? Three people came in. Captaincy change. We went
Uh,
from Bumrah, who look, we again our first inning score from
Different pitch though,
Perth was a
different
similar
pitch.
score, right?
and
180.
you can't expect miracles.
No, no,
You can't
but
expect
that's what I'm saying. Like,
you can't expect miracles every game.
But
I think.
oh no, no, no. That's not
That
what I'm
wasn't
saying.
even a
Yeah,
miracle.
yeah,
That
that's not what
was
I'm
a
saying.
difficult
Yeah,
pitch, and
Yeah.
I still think we only won because we got all out really quickly last game. But in this game, it's the opposite because the pitch was a lot easier to start with, and then it got trickier. So
but the
if
ball
if we had
and
even
the
scored 200 runs
anyway.
in the fourth and third innings, it would have been hard for them to chase it down because there would have been cracks
Mm,
and the ball was seeming crazy. So it would have been harder for them to
correct.
score
Yeah.
runs in the fourth innings. If we'd even given them 200 or 220 runs to chase last innings, oh, but that would have been a massive effort from our end because our first innings was terrible.
Having said that, our second innings
Mm.
was no good either. We didn't go past first innings score.
It's no better.
Quickly looking at from an Aussie perspective, going into the game with 9-day break, so much heat that they were coping from media. They stick to their plans of just dropping or swapping Hazelwood with Bolin because of side strain, right?
Hollywood.
Everyone else were retained. McSweeney got a second attempt, second go at it.
Yeah.
Labuschagne hung in there. He was carrying a lot of heat. Smith, he's still coping up because now Labu has scored runs. It's now Smith popping up all the heat around his
Yeah.
position.
To
But
be honest, the way he got out was just unlucky. Like
yeah,
that was an easy, like just dab it to fine leg, and he's got some. He's got a four. Um, yeah, but I think even we lost a wicket like that, so done.
I th- I I think they'll. I think that, like that's what we've always seen with Australia, right? They don't panic that quickly. They know their team. Okay, look, Hezwood side strain or he said something too much. Um, and but Boland came. Boland's a strong replacement, and he showed, right. So Gabba, I
He
don't
plays.
know
He
if
comes back.
Hezwood
He comes back. He comes back. Yeah.
they will bring him back. They will pick him over. Yeah, yeah, he'll come back. And Boland has to play
Oh
Melbourne,
yeah,
right? Boland has to play
homeboy.
Melbourne. Um, so that's a
Oh,
homeboy. That's right. It's just and he does well. If you look at his stats, he always does really well in Melbourne. Um, so let's see if Hazelwood can
I'm,
recover.
I'm,
I think
I'm
they'll
fairly
stick with the original
sure
team.
Cummins already
Smith
said
just
it in the press
needs,
conference that he's on track on coming back this year, this game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
Well,
So
he
unfortunate
didn't
for
say who's
Boland
going to
because he
miss
played
out.
well.
So, but it'll most likely be Boland because can't drop Stark right
Uh,
now.
is it
yeah, most likely Boland. What are you gonna get rid of Stark?
uh,
Bloody hell!
do
You're gonna get
do they get rid of Mitchy Marsh? Keep keep both Bolin and Hazelwood in the squad because
Nah, because they'll be short on the batting. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it because Boland's pretty much
yeah.
a number 11 better.
well,
That's
if you
true.
get opponents out
That's
for
true.
150 and 160, do you need really a number 11?
Oh, imagine that though, right? You see off Stark, you see off Cummins, you see off Hazelwood, and
Oh
they're
my
like,
God.
actually, it's all good. We've got Boland coming in
Yeah.
now. Oh, it would be done.
No.
Would be
Yeah.
cooked.
Oh, cool. So I think
I think it'll be an interesting series. Has anyone heard what the pitch
Nah,
is like
no
in
clue.
Gabba? Uh, is there any
I
talks
think the
there?
So
whole pitch
I haven't heard anything
conversation
yet.
stopped after Perth, where they kept saying, we're going to create a pitch that is going to be fiery, pacey, bounce, and
yeah,
da da da.
I also think their confidence is going to be a lot higher now than before. So I think beating this
Yeah.
Australian team will be tenfold harder than beating the Perth team. So good luck,
Oh,
India.
wow. But I think I've been saying this in all our past episodes. I'm just going to say it. Trust the scriptwriter. Trust the OG scriptwriter.
Oh, actually, do you know what? I'll do a classic me again, last minute point. I found our batting towards the end of our second innings really dumb. Like, India was just not thinking. Like,
Can I
okay,
can I can I say something before that?
yeah,
You said you found teams batting in the second innings, second half of second innings tough.
yeah.
So you mean it was pretty good in the first half of the
No, the
first
first
innings,
half was
or even the first innings?
no, no, no. First half was just bad, but not dumb. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it was inevitable.
It's dumb.
Yeah, like I'll give you an example. I'll back it up with an example. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
Ash
Yeah.
comes into a bat, does real good, comes in off his legs off.
Mm.
Like somehow hope comes back in that Ash has got us. Now I know why he was picked over Washi because he can deliver with the ball way better and he's got some bat, right? Glances,
Yeah.
goes for a four. Glances again, goes for a four. And then Cummins is
Yeah.
like, do you know what? I got you, Bo. Sets a field, deep square leg, fine leg, puts a square leg in,
Yeah.
puts a short leg in. Oh, I wonder what he's going to bowl now. I wonder what he'll do now. Oh my gosh, what will he do now? And then, so just in case if Ash didn't figure it out at this point, he bowls a bouncer. The bounce is so high, it bounces over Ash and lobs to the keeper. So now he's even shown him his cards. And to that really bouncy bouncer,
Yeah.
what did Ash do? He tried to pull, misses. Okay, comes in the second ball, a little bit better bouncer, pulls, misses. At this
Mm.
point, the man's like, maybe I shouldn't pull. There's all of these fielders on the leg side. Um,
Yeah.
and there's a short leg right here. I shouldn't pull. Ball's a bouncer, pulls, still misses, still misses. And then I'm like, surely he's figured this out because me, a nub, sitting on the couch watching cricket, I know what's coming. Surely he knows now. The man's like, no, I got this. Me marega. Like, He'll still pull. Bowls a bouncer. He pulls, gloves it to carry. Done. Bye bye.
Oh my God. I love this narrative way of
Oh my
Raj
god.
explaining those four balls. That Ash, three he survived, fourth one he perished. Yeah, I now
Yeah.
get your statement of why there was bad and there was dumb.
Like, but especially from Ash, like like how like he thinks about like
Mm.
oh,
Uh,
it's,
well, I think on that,
They've got to forget it. They've got to
yeah.
forget this test. It's just and again, I think they shouldn't. I'm going to do a Raj here and put a last little point again, but they shouldn't beat themselves up because the
yeah.
conditions are very different to a traditional cricket, right? Day nighter, pink ball, conditions are different. Don't beat yourself up, but there's a
And
lot
to
of
be
learning
honest, like
left.
their bowling to our tail was brutal. They
They knocked
literally
them over. They
not
knocked them
just knocked
over.
them
They did.
over. Everything was short.
Yeah,
Everything
Yeah.
was short
yeah.
and on the helmet. Like Boomerang got hit in the helmet, and they all appealed to catch, but was on the emblem. Like it was lethal bowling. Ours we didn't do. Oh wait, when we tried to bowl bounces, Stark on his hip height, he's just pulling. Oh, it was just so sad. Like they better
Well,
show them some hostility this game with the ball.
yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game. We've seen Aussies losing the first one, great return. We've seen India winning the first one, a poor return to the game. So now, will things change? Will they continue? We don't know. We gotta wait for two more
I
days.
mean, I
We
know
gotta wait
it
for
can't
two more
change.
days. Uh,
The Aussie confidence is very good.
trust trust the OG scriptwriter. Well, on that note, let's wrap up this episode. Tune in for our next one in few days' time, where we're gonna see whether the things have changed or not. So, in the meantime, there are few of our older videos. Some are just up there. There's an IPL auction reviews that we've done. More to come as we just smashed through only three of the teams. Um, do the usuals: like us, follow us, subscribe, comment, and yeah, we will hope to entertain you in our next upcoming episode as well. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.
Cool. Thank you.